Welcome back to Living Local, friends. As I said, we're celebrating Black History Month, the February Black History Month 2026. And I'm going to start with Jenny DeRocher, librarian here at the La Crosse Public Library. One of the entities, as I moved into La Crosse and got more integrated with the Historical Society, one of the entities that really stuck out to me was George Pogue. That name in track and field circles is pretty famous. The first African-American to win an Olympic medal. What is his story? Was he born here? Did he come here?
He wasn't born here. He was actually born down in Missouri. And his parents moved here with him and his sisters in the 1880s. And they moved here for work. So his parents worked for, first it was Pettibone. He was a mayor in La Crosse, and he lived at a house at King and 8th. It's still there today. And the owners have even named one of the rooms after George Pogue's mom, Anna. And after a few years, they moved to another location on Cass Street. It's the house at the corner of 13th and Cass, I believe. So it's still up as well. That was owned by the Easton family, and the Pogues worked at the Easton estate. And then George attended school here. Him and his sister were among some of the first Black Americans to graduate the La Crosse High School at the time. And he was salutatorian of his class. He graduated in 1899, I believe. And
there's no quiz. You're fine.
And yeah, so it's really cool that he grew up here. He, practiced running in Burns Park downtown outside of his school. It's kind of cool to think of him becoming a runner here in La Crosse, and how that prepared him to go on to the Olympic Games.
Yeah, so talk about that a little bit. Back when he was going to high school, we didn't have Central and Logan. We had just the one La Crosse High School. Where was that at?
Yeah, so it was at the corner of 9th and Main Street. It was this big school, and I forget when Central was built, but it was built where Wygant Park is now. So that was the first Central High School. But before that, it was just called La Crosse High School.
Again, I said this off air. I don't think a lot of people in or from or live in La Crosse understand who George was. And what is his lasting legacy? What happened after 1904?
Yeah, so after he graduated from La Crosse High School, he went on to become a history major at UW-Madison. And that's, I think, around when the Milwaukee Athletic Club actually recruited him to go compete in the Olympic Games. And something that's, I think, kind of cool about George, too, is that he, a lot of Black athletes were actually boycotting the 1904 Olympics, and he chose to go to show what Black athletes could do. So he was kind of doing his own protest in that for those Olympic Games. But then after he competed, he was a teacher, I think in St. Louis. And there was some controversy that happened. It's pretty unknown what went down, but he ended up leaving his teaching role there and moving to Chicago, and he became a postal worker for the rest of his life and a Chicago resident.
Left us in 1962, right?
Yeah.
So from Missouri born to La Crosse native to first African American to win an Olympic medal, George Pogue. Do you think we pay enough respect to him as a city?
Well, it's really cool that we have the park named after him now. I think it's really cool every chance we get to talk about him. He was featured recently in the Wisconsin Pride documentary, which is about Wisconsin's LGBTQ history. And I'd love to see more people talking about that side of him too. And I'm really happy that we're talking about him right now.
It's unfortunate, it seems, that we don't know enough about him. He became very private, it seems, in his later years, which is his due right, but it would be nice to know more of the man, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty common for our historic LGBTQ figures that they kind of had to hide their identity and hide their records. We do know that he was out to his sister and his mom and had a really close relationship with them for his whole life, and his sister's family. So, I think he maybe seems more private now today than he really was. But Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Less private, maybe just didn't have social media. you know, yeah. So how does one find out more about George or any of the other people that have impacted the Coulee region history?
Yeah, so I work at the La Crosse Public Library in the archives, and we help La Crosse residents or Wisconsin residents, people all over the country, do local history and genealogy research. So anyone who has questions, they can contact us and we can provide them with sources.
There you go, friends. You will always find the answer at your local library, I promise. Stick around, we've got weather coming up, and then we're going to talk to a member of the Enduring Families Project. That's next, right here on Living Local.